Hey everyone, it's the Angry Honey Badger here, and it is time for patch notes. It's patch notes 4.17 or 417, and with me, of course, we have bonus content. How you doing, bonus? Ah!
Haha!
Ah! I'm fine.
I jumped the gun a little bit there.
You always do. You always do.
I go early.
Yeah, he does. All right, so patch 417 is lengthy. So
It's a pretty big one.
We're going to dive right on in. And the first things that we can see are changes to Viktor and Soraka. This for Viktor is Viktor has received his gameplay update and his texture update. And a ridiculously good looking splash. Let's just jump to Viktor real quick. Here's how he looks. This is a splash. It's sexy.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anyways, what do we want to cover? I don't want to dive too deep into these because, I mean, I know we should. But this is going to be a long patch.
Well, I think that if we just kind of...
The big changes.
Yeah, the big changes.
His augments.
I love this change. This is my favorite change of the whole kit.
Hit it up. I always usually talk like 85% of these videos.
You now can get your augment 3 different times. Or it can be augmented 3 different times during the course of the game. So obviously it'd probably be what, 1, 11, and 16 or something like that. 1, 8, and 16, whatever it doesn't say on the page, but so you can get all of your augments, which is really cool instead of buying that stupid item that's like a waste of gold. Your Q is pretty much the same, but now once you use it, your next basic attack is going to give you movement speed if you have that augment, which is pretty cool. Gravity field changed a lot now. It does the stun still, but it takes a few seconds to trigger. And if you have that augment, it will actually like suck all of the enemy champions that are like in the outsides into the middle, which is actually a lot more useful than what it used to be.
I'm gonna play the videos, I think, real quick.
Yeah.
On them. So okay, passive.
Passive.
Glorious Revolution. So you can see that it's doing its nonsense there. Unique can be upgraded during the courses of the game. All right, then down below, obviously, siphon power, blah, blah, blah. So when he uses it here, he gets it right away, which is kind of nice, opposed to back in the day where he'd have to come back or whatever.
Yeah.
So right away is nice.
With the augment.
Yep. Bonus
damage on the next attack, which is really nice.
And then gravity field here, it looks like now. You are now stunned!
You are stunned.
So, pretty standard.
Augment
on it. Knocks him back in. So
to the middle.
Yeah. Kind of like a mini Ori ult, which is kind of nice.
It looked like you had to be in it for the full duration, though.
That's what they made it appear to be, yeah. I think it's as long as you just get stunned by it, which...
Yeah, it'll just send you to the middle.
Yeah. And then Death Ray. Classic Death Ray. And then with Augment...
Does damage twice if you stand on the line, I believe.
So it kind of blasts up a little bit of aftershock kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool. Chaos Storm. I like this a lot more now.
It looks a lot better in my opinion.
It also does, I agree.
I'm interested to see, like...
It moves so much faster.
Yeah. But look at the range. His range is pretty
good. The range was still... It was still pretty good last time, but it's so much better looking now. So those are kind of the main overviews. I'm excited for Viktor. I actually really liked Viktor as a champion when he was released. At the time, he had the coolest dance. And I think Viktor's a cool champion, and I like the ideas behind Viktor. The only problem was he wasn't
very good.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. A really good Viktor will surprise you because a lot of people don't play against Viktor, so it did work, but just overall as a champion, he doesn't work. He just didn't find our quite right spot. You could kind of compare him just a little bit previously to like maybe kind of like an Orianna where there is damage there, but there's a lot of utility for the team depending on how you worked. But the problem is it just wasn't good enough. I think these changes, they look good. We'll see if it translates into the game.
I think with the new W and then the addition to the movement speed on the Q, when you get that augmented, is going to be huge. Because like you can just use that on a minion and then use it to like escape a gank at the other side or something.
Let alone it's not taking up a very necessary item slot.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a huge downside to Viktor too, because if you did go late game, It's not that your augment was terrible. Besides there was one
There's
augment.
just better things.
There's just so much other stuff you would have needed. Like if you gave up something like some extra magic penetration or something with survivability, you didn't have an option, which was bad. So that is probably, in my opinion, the biggest nice change. So, all right, so that's Viktor. You can obviously go to this page and read up more if you want to look at it more in depth. Next, we do have Soraka, who is
ridiculous.
Getting her gameplay update. So here's Raka. Should we just look at
watch the
videos again? We'll just start there. Passive, Salvation. Soraka gains significant movement speed when she moves other wounded champions. So when she moves towards them, she gets movement speed. So you can see that she is going to be crazy quick when it comes to catching and getting up to teammates who are low health. So significantly different there.
This is kind of, it's not unrelated, I guess, but I was playing the PvE, and this one Soraka built straight movement speed, and she was so fast. It was ridiculous. She was faster than like Hecarim with movement speed. It was ridiculous.
Movement speed Hecarim is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Star Call is what it's going to do now. Here's a look.
I like this as well. Does slow the inner circle. It's just Karthus doesn't move in this example.
Yes, correct.
So it deals extra damage as well if you get hit in the center.
And she was healing off that, right?
Yeah, she does. But like as we'll see in the next video.
Next, the Astral Infusion.
She actually hurts herself to heal allies, but it's like a 2-second cooldown.
Yeah, so she transfers a lot of her health into saving.
It's bananas.
So she really wants to Star Call to get her health back and then use it effectively to then use her W to heal back up. So it's a combination of using poking correctly without extending and over engaging, and enough of being able to do that while still being able to use your infusion to then help sustain your allies. So there's counterplay that's involved in this, and we'll see this evolve in the laning phase and how people either kind of work around this or work with it. So it's what the big goal was with Soraka was to make her interesting, because previously her kit's very uninteresting. It's a lot of pounding buttons and waiting for cooldowns. So
I just noticed from the description, you don't get the heal on Star Call until you level up W. It's the passive from W that allows Star Call to heal.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yes. So you can't, like level 1, you can't just go balls to the wall with Star Call and heal yourself and win a fight.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be possible. So at level 2, yes. But not at level 1. All right, next is her E.
I like that. It's a lot better as well. It's just a little AoE or AoE silence.
And root, yeah. That's huge.
Giving Soraka CC makes her immediately more viable, obviously.
I was gonna say the only thing she had before was just the fact that she was giving somebody a lot of armor and she healed them, and then the one silence. But that was not a great move.
Yeah.
And then she can't cast to allies, right? Yeah. It's just that now. So she doesn't. She's not a mana. She's not a mana.
She's not a mana giver.
Okay, good. And then finally her wish, global heal, ally champions.
Still the same thing, except it gives people who are injured more health back.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad for using it when I see 2 people on my team who haven't taken any damage, but a couple really need it. Because deep down you wish that the other 2 were slightly wounded, and you're like,
well, sometimes you use it. Sometimes you use it in like, I've used it on people who are like full health just because they're like chasing down enemies and I want to assist and I'm really greedy.
I know what you're talking about. I didn't know. So those are the big changes. Taking away from things, we kind of mentioned it. There's a lot of more play between your Q and your W now, which will make her fun and interesting. This is a cool update. Hopefully no one can exploit her in a weird ADC way or something. I don't know how.
I like how all of her stuff is like little AoEs.
Yeah, that's also
except for her heal, obviously.
Yeah.
I like it. It adds a skill factor to the character.
And her mana thing with the one silence was kind of boring. So Equinox is kind of cool.
Agreed.
So if you want to read up, obviously, on more of it, head over here, read up on it. I'm excited to play her. I'm really excited to play Viktor. I think both of these look good. We'll see how they translate to actual gameplay. But very exciting because very boring champion. Soraka was very boring, and Viktor, you wanted to play him, but he just wasn't quite viable enough. Hopefully, both of those things have been kind of fixed. So, yeah, that's the big changes. Now, next, jumping back to normal shenanigans, Cassiopeia is first for the normal stuff. She did have the lowest win rate in the game after her rework, and it was significantly low. I did get a quadra kill in my stream with her and chased after the Penta who just ran for his life. But that was against an all ADC team. So squishy targets equal easy kills. But she is going to get some tweaks. First off, her base mana is going to be up a little bit to help you there, and the mana per level also going up by 10, just to help you then spam skills a bit more. Since you have more of a pool to work from. Her Q, which is her Noxus Blast, the ability power ratio on it, base level is it's going to be higher. It's instead of 0.35, it's 0.45 now. She just wasn't getting enough damage down in lane to get her stacks going. You could get damage onto them, but it didn't do that much because that ratio was so nerfed. And then her Twin Fangs, it now correctly resets its cooldown to 0.5 seconds. As indicated in the tooltip. So some small tweaks. They're still working on her, and they want to do it slowly are some of the big concerns. This is really to help her early game, which then involves helping her get her stacks, which then gets her into a later game state in a better, more successful and less stressful way, because it was just taking 40 solid minutes to get going.
Yeah, when she hits 400 stacks or whatever the number is, she's actually a really good champion.
But
like
it takes
in terms
so
of damage
long.
numbers, but her early games just you can't have that bad of an early game and get away with it. So yeah, they needed to do this.
Yeah, it was necessary. She was not perfect. Next is Israel. Pulse Fire Ezreal, smooth out some nonsense on his Mystic shot animations. Don't care.
The Lord.
But I don't care.
Thank the Lord.
All right, thank the Lord. Pulse Fire Ezreal's been fixed. Nobody cares. Next, actually, some decent changes happening to Garen in this patch. Mostly happening to his passive. Now, his passive, Perseverance. Perseverance is no longer removed by non-epic monsters at level 11 and above. Health regeneration on it also is going to not just be 0.4% maximum health per level, but 0.4, 0.8, and then 2.0 maximum health per second at levels 111, 16. And its cooldown on it also diminishes from 9, 6, and 4. And the big thing,
that is ridiculous.
It is really ridiculous, but the big thing here is Garen does fall off late game as a champion.
So this will help him when out of you'll be able to run away
and regen fast and go back
running away and be able to come back into the fight at full health.
Yes.
2% of your maximum. If you got a Warmogs or anything like that.
No. See, that's the thing. I think this is also going to help reinforce tank Garen, because the only thing that made him slightly viable late game was if you built him tanky, just for the fact that you could survive for so long, in my opinion. I know damage Garen is really fun. It's hilarious to crit and spin and hurt people, but tank Garen survived the best. Now, this is going to allow him to do that better if he needs to exit out of the fight for a second, maybe revamp, heal, and then run back in. I think that's one way to keep him alive as a tank. Because if you're going to be squishy Garen, you're just going to die.
Spirit Visage, OB.
Yeah, Spirit Visage is going to be awesome. So that's a big change to this. The other big one, as you mentioned, is non-epic monsters at level 11 and above.
So basically at level 11, you can jungle indefinitely because your passive will regenerate at least 0.8% of your health by level 11. And so you're just going to be constantly sustaining in jungle. So it's you might actually see some jungle Garens running around. He's just pre-level 11. It's going to be rough still. Yeah,
it will be. I don't know.
And he doesn't have any really good gap closes. He has his Q, but
it's not enough.
He's got no ranged CC or anything like that.
He doesn't bring crowd control to a gank.
Yeah,
he doesn't. So, but you might see people trying it, because in theory later on he'll be completely fine.
Yeah, he'll be way better than he was.
Yeah, that'll be a big change. So those are that's what happened to Garen. It's definitely focused at his late game. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Next we do have the Heimerdinger on his ultimate upgrade. Upgrade now can be cast while Heimerdinger is disabled,
which is nice. Basically, you can just make it so when you hit your Q, because a lot of people were getting like CC'd or disabled, and they would hit their alt and then like Q, or like hit their alt and grenade or something like that, and their alt wouldn't register, but by the time that they hit their next spell, they would be out of the disable.
Yeah.
And so they would just like throw out a normal grenade or like put down a normal turret, and it was like making a lot of people mad. So you can still activate your ultimate.
Correct.
Which is really, really nice.
Yeah, which makes sense. It helps people out. So that is Heimerdinger's changes. Next is the Karma.
It's actually the same thing as Heimerdinger.
Pretty much. Mantra can now be cast while Karma is disabled. They also fixed a bug on her Soul Flare's ground effect would disappear if she died. So that's also a good little bug fix as well.
Yep.
But yeah, same concept. You can keep the cast going. Next is LeBlanc. Got some changes coming into her. On her passive, or mirror image, LeBlanc now creates a mirror image immediately, not after the invisibility ends.
Won't this kind of tell which one it is? Or does she not get invisibility anymore?
I don't know. I was
like
just going to
if
say,
her
a fake would pop
out
up first, and then
see
she'd
the
just pop
second
up. Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, it's obviously the second one that popped up, so let's kill that person. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. LeBlanc and her mirror image remain visible. Oh, okay. Then there you go. It's the next part we didn't read. Lol. Okay. So that makes sense. Invisible duration is longer, though, now. It's 1 second.
It's not an invisibility, because like if you have a pink down, can you see her when she goes?
I think that's the thing. If there is vision, then you'll see her, and then you'll see the fake pop. So if you had vision of her, then that would have been the problem.
Yeah. All right. That's a good change. I don't think it really affects LeBlanc at all.
We'll see. I don't know though. And then on her W, LeBlanc now has 4 seconds to snap back to the return. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
I hate that change.
So she'll have the ability to go back to it a lot longer after.
Yeah.
So. Interesting.
Yes. More tree.
Next, we got some nerfs to the tree. Is Vengeful Maelstrom is the maximum stored damage is being reduced. Instead of 200 to 300, it's 100 to 200. Base damage remains at 100 to 200 though. So
that's huge. Like that's 100 base.
Yeah.
Like that's 100 damage level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We know the tree is strong. So. Next is the Fortune, her strut. Strut is no longer broken by non-damaging effects.
Thank you.
Which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
So nice little change to the Misfortune. Next then on the list is, of course, Nautilus. On his Q, his dredge line, Nautilus can now drag himself to player-created terrain. This is basically covering and adding another thing to what happened in the last patch with interactions between terrain that characters can create. So he can now use that to that, which is kind of helpful since he can hook to terrain. Next, we're getting some changes to Nidalee because she's been ridiculously too strong for a very, very long time.
Well, let's be real. She was ridiculously strong, and then they tried to nerf her, and then they just made her even stronger. So
yeah,
hopefully they actually just nerf her across the board.
She's kind of a combination of a champion that has a little bit too much in her kit.
Of everything?
Yeah.
Like when they gave her alt at level 1, they needed to like make her almost useless.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening is her base attack damage is being reduced by 5 points.
That's huge.
Base attack speed is also being reduced slightly. Then on her Q, which is her takedown in Cougar form, minimum attack damage ratio being reduced by 0.25. Minimum attack damage ratio being reduced. Ability power ratio is actually being increased, and maximum ability power ratio is being increased. So they're scaling her back out of her AD form. It's too much early. You take all attack damage, you jump on someone at level 1, and you murder.
When they remade her, they wanted her to be AP.
Not at level 1, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, when they wanted her to still be AP. Now,
but then people
classic
built this
Nidalee,
because
though,
they could just take apart this.
Classic Nidalee, her old back in the day, my first build for her, her Q was 300% of her attack damage was added to your Q. I mean, it sounds insane, but nobody built her attack damage, or not that many people built her attack damage, but she did a ton of damage as attack damage, but only in her Cougar form. And that's what we were back to, but now they gave her Cougar form at level 1. So she could do that at level 3, just jump in. Well, mostly at level 2, you just jump in and kill everybody.
Yeah, because you take W level 1, and then obviously you just like mark them with a Q when you hit level 2, or like if they step on a trap, and then you just jump on them and kill them. Like you literally can Half-Life someone at level 2.
Q,
one ability.
Q, ult, pounce, eat, dead, ignite.
Yep.
Roll.
Stupid.
Laughing.
Dumb.
Yeah, and so then on Pounce, Pounce's cooldown now resets to 1.5 seconds if Nidalee pounces to a hunted target. Killing a unit now resets Pounce's cooldown to 1.5 seconds instead of 1 second. Abilities that reduce Pounce's cooldown now work in combination with Nidalee's cooldown reduction stat. So 40% CDR on Pounce will be 0.9 seconds rather than 1.5. And then Swipe no longer affects the cooldown of Pounce when used on a hunted target. So that's been removed completely. This just helps her stop being a douchebag.
Yeah, that just takes down the mobility factor when you actually get hit with a spear or something. Or like, because I don't know if you have seen a lot of top Nidalee, obviously, but like you just like jump on the wave and one minion would die and you'd be able to use it again.
Yep.
So if you're like fighting in a minion wave, it was actually better just to fight in a minion wave with Nidalee because you could just spam W. It was dumb.
The couple times I played her, I felt really broken, and I didn't feel like I was playing her right because I hadn't played a Nidalee in a long time, and I just, I hadn't played in a long time. And you just jump on somebody and you kill them, and you're like, I don't feel like I did anything.
I don't feel proper doing this. I'm sorry.
I don't feel good about what just happened. Yeah. So Nidalee's getting tweaked. Thank God. Next, we do have some changes coming actually to Rammus. First off, on his Powerball, while in Powerball, Rammus now cancels the ability immediately instead of after 1 second after the defensive ball curl is activated. So
basically you can't W right before you get there.
Yep. And then defensive ball curl, while defensive ball curl Rammus now cancels the ability. Yeah, same exact thing. So small little quality of life change.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Okay. Next we have Sona with their Hymn
Oh my
of
god,
Valor.
they buffed her?
They fixed a bug where the Hymn of Valor cast range was shorter than intended. I was gonna say I've been playing her.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, ready for some foreshadowing?
There's a Bales video
There's
coming out.
Coming out soon for Sona. Are you in
I got
the
it.
game?
I think I'm your AD carry. I think I played Twitch.
Ah, yes, I think you did. Yeah, there's much wrecking involved. Next, we do have some changes coming into Talon. I know I've kind of foreshadowed some of the things happening. We'll talk about this for a second. It's actually slightly different than I think what I said, though. We'll see. First, on his Q, Noxian Diplomacy animations now play slightly faster. Hooray!
That's good.
On his E, his Cutthroat. Cutthroat now slows targets for 99% for 0.25 seconds. It no longer silences. So, yes, they did remove the silence, as I said, and I said this wouldn't ruin him. A lot of people got mad. But guess what? You get a 99% slow for 0.25 seconds. I know a lot of people are concerned that this will allow them to do things that they really need to, and I sort of agree. But I'm going to be honest, I used it as a gap closer, not just for the silence. I mean, the gap close is kind of the big thing, because you get on their face. I mean, the silence is big, though, I agree.
Think about what did to LeBlanc.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, LeBlanc isn't played anymore because they took away her silence.
Competitively, yes, but people still play her.
But, like, this is just...
I didn't see Talon as a problem, though, to be completely honest.
Well, Faker started to play him, and everybody just jumped on the bandwagon.
That's how it always works.
To play AD carry, it's a pain in the butt.
Well, then when I get to the bottom of this list, there better be Zillion.
Oh, there is Zillion.
Good. I'm just saying, I haven't gotten to the bottom of the list yet.
I don't know.
There better be Zillion if that's what we're going off of.
When you don't silence the target, there's room for counterplay.
I do agree. There is room for counterplay, and counterplay is a good thing. But my thing with Talon, at least the way I play Talon, is if I'm jumping on someone's face, the next half second, not even half second, the time they have to respond to jumping away or counterplaying, they're already dead.
But like 99% isn't that much.
99%.
So why did they just add a 0.25 second stun?
It's just so you can actually do something.
So you can Q away if you're Vayne, or jump away if you're Tristana?
Yeah, something. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see if they actually end up buffing him in some weird way. Like I said, though, if I jump on someone, I'm immediately using everything
and bursting them. They
didn't touch his
damage numbers, or his damage numbers?
Well, they already touched his damage numbers like a year ago and nerfed him completely into the ground. And
I don't know if that's true.
In comparison, the old school damage numbers were insane in comparison.
Well, yeah, they've done that like periodically though throughout the whole history of League. Like all of the super powerful champions are just getting nerfed now.
Yeah, Shadow Assault now has a particle to indicate Talon is hasted.
That's fine.
That's yeah. Okay. So yeah, whatever. I don't.
They're just adding the like speed things to your back.
Yeah. Final thoughts.
More nerves.
Whatever.
Oh, what?
I was gonna say final thoughts. If you're gonna kill somebody, just kill him. I think I summed it up. Somebody's gonna be angry in chat, and no fucks were given. Tristana, Buster Shot, cooldown is now not just 60 seconds, it's 185 and then 70. Because it's up a lot. Which is really
awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's up a lot.
You basically, when you hit 6 with Tristana, you just jump in and you use your entire combo and push them out of lane. And then by the time they usually get back, it's like 25 seconds from being up again. So you can just do the same thing again.
Yeah, you can do it a lot.
And so this is going to help her not... This is going to hurt her mid-game even more than it already struggles. Yeah, I was gonna say let's struggles. Those are big quotation or like, yeah. So
we got some Yashibo on his Steel Tempest bug fix, where Steel Tempest cooldown was slightly too low when using the EQ combo at high attack speeds.
So it's actually a little bit of a buff, but it's not that big of a deal.
Shouldn't be a game changer, but it's
yeah. Yep.
Zillion!
Oh, they didn't do anything to him, though.
No, they didn't.
They already nerfed Zillion.
Chrono Shift visual effect. The rotating hourglass has been increased by 50%.
So you can see them
That's
now.
helpful, because I still run into too many people on my team who start trying to murder a target that's going to come back to life.
Yeah.
And that is just the worst. I think it happens in a build.
Yeah.
Recently, somebody runs up and he kills them, and I was standing back waiting for that to die, and then they're like, and then I even told them in chat, I'm like, why do you hit them? They came back to life and then escaped because they got 1,000 life instead of being almost dead at 50. Like, I didn't run up and hit him. It's like a Skarner who comes in full blast using everything. I was like, no, you definitely hit him. So make sure you don't do that unless it's a target you want to be inactive for a short amount of time in the middle of a team fight. That's the only time. That's the only other reason why you'd actually kill somebody with it on them, because they're a squishy target, and you want to eliminate them for a second, and then you can just eliminate them next.
Well, most of the time, like if you're winning the fight that hard, if you like catch out an AD carry or an AP carry, like you can just like push the front line and then just like amoeba them.
Yeah.
Anyway, normally.
Yeah.
So it takes some pretty good teamwork to utilize that if a carry gets caught.
Yeah.
So
other than that. I think they could nerf Zillion's ult, to be honest.
Just make it longer cooldown, or
yeah, because you can already rewind it to about like 25 seconds. Like, I mean, if you're 40% CDR late game, it's like a 20-second cooldown if you just keep spamming.
Rewind on yourself.
Rewind. So, yeah.
I can see that. That'd be, or just make it like not affect his ult or something.
Yeah.
Like rewind doesn't affect his ult. Just bombs.
Next, we have the mass texture rebalance.
This is part 1.
Part 1. They're going to be updating many textures in the game. You might not notice a lot of them, but some of them are slightly noticeable. I think a lot of it is to help fix just old textures and to get ready for the Summoner's Rift update for next season.
Isn't it all champions before 2013?
They are doing that as well, because they need to fix them so they are on the same mesh kind of thing. So here's a list. You can look at it. Arya, Kali, Ashe, Corki, Fiora, Galio, Graves, LeBlanc, Leona, Not, Ori, and Xerath. It's not all the skins for each of them, but it's the ones that need it. Like Ori's looks different legitimately, and then some of like blah blah blahs look not that tweaked, but then like Jailbreak Graves legitimately looks better.
I actually couldn't tell. Like I saw the Nautilus, like all of the Nautilus.
They look very similar.
I can't tell the difference, but maybe it's just because I don't know what I'm looking for.
It could be.
We can skip the items.
Yeah. And then Dominion. Ranked updates. Master tier.
This is nice because you would have people in Master tier that like would drop out of Master tier and get placed back into Diamond 1, and they'd be at like 15 points or like 10 points. Ugh. So they'd have to go all the way through Diamond 1 again.
That'd be annoying.
Yeah. So this is nice for them. But like if you're on that level, then you're probably not going to have trouble getting back to Master tier.
Oh, interesting. Rank decay.
This is probably my favorite. Like, I'm Diamond, I don't care. But, like, this is my favorite thing about this patch.
That's really smart, actually.
Yeah. Like, why would the lower elos decay?
No. Exactly. It makes perfect sense. You're completely correct. Why would it? Yeah,
like,
no.
For plat.
I think they also
Master,
knew because
Challenger.
people were also saying a lot in comments all over the place. I noticed it actually while I was surfing through the internet. A lot of people are like, "I only play my one game every month so I don't decay." Like they know people are jumping into matches and don't care about the outcome. They just need to play a match.
Yeah,
because they're where it's where they care to be. They don't care about anything. They just play a non-decay match is what they only do.
I actually think that they should probably leave gold out. Like gold, because like if you're getting rewards like end of season rewards, I think that you should have to continually prove that you're that level.
So you think silver? So you think silver would only be immune then?
Well, bronze and silver.
Oh, well, because bronze isn't going to be. Although League has already stated
decay out of your series.
You can't decay out of your series. That was just the bug fix.
Okay.
You can still decay in bronze.
But do you get what I'm saying? Like if you're getting something for free, like the I did this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Then you should be required to show it the entire season. Like not the entire season, just like when the seasons end. Like you should have to like prove that you deserve to be there. So I don't know. I can see it both ways, but like it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Because a lot of people just push for gold, and then when they get that, they play like you said,
like
their
one game. Yeah, because they already got the rewards. So
correct.
All right, and then ranked duo queue. Apparently, following a brief hiatus last patch due to a bug, we're reactivating the limiter that prevents ranked players from duoing with partners more than one tier away from where they're at. So, which makes sense.
Basically, just reinstated what they put in a while ago.
And then the next thing, which is pretty big, you can head over here to discuss it. I actually know all about it, so I'll just talk about it. I covered it in the League update. That'll be live the same day this video goes live. So go watch that on Curse's channel. I talk about it there and actually go into it.
Is there a link in the description, Andrew?
There's a link in the description
to the video
later in the afternoon because this video will come out before that one. So
okay.
If you come to this one and you see this video live now and you watch all of this, then it'll be in here later. So come back and check that out. If you happen to have watched this sometime in the afternoon or later, it should be live and we'll link you up there. I talk a little bit about people anyways in that one. So if I say something slightly different, just go watch that one too. But rank restrictions, what this is, if you're a toxic player and you have displayed this toxic behavior in ranked, what happens is you will be ineligible to play ranked matches until you complete a unspecified number of normal draft games to basically prove that you are not toxic anymore. After this time has passed, you will be evaluated, and if you pass, you can re-enter ranked again, but if you do not pass, you are set to another unspecified amount of normal draft queue games where you have to keep proving because you're still reportable and all that nonsense. So that's nice. Really the big stuff. The other big thing that comes with ranked restrictions if you are a toxic player is if you end the season in that what they're calling island hell or whatever, if you're set and you have those restrictions and you're in your draft games because you're not allowed to play ranked due to your toxicity, you will not get end of season rewards, meaning no borders, no skins, none of that. You don't get any season rewards, which makes sense. They want to use those as a benefit to people not only who play well to get to those
but also
positions, but the people who are sportsmanlike. So,
or just not douchebags.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand the douchebaggery in video games a lot, to be completely honest. Yeah, whatever. I know some people have also claimed that they've gotten... It's what it is. I know a lot of people have also complained about how they were just defending themselves when somebody else was being like that. You know what I do when that usually happens? I mute the enemy and I don't talk to them. They're not worth my time. I know it's hard for some people to do. I know it can be hard. Just mute them. Seriously, it's better for everybody. And then report them at the end of the game. Because granted, they're probably going to keep talking crap to other people. And if they already did to you and you don't say anything back, in the tribunal, what someone sees is someone talks shit, someone never talked back, the person who talks shit is going to get banned. Like, don't fall into a trap of being like, well, I'm a good person, but I talked shit once and then everybody reported me. Well, you talked shit once. Don't talk shit. So that's my thing. The only time I ever talk any mild trash is if somebody is bragging and basically saying worth and wrecked all game long, and then we end up crushing them late game, and then they lose. I only start saying wrecked and worth, which you're not going to get usually. I don't go into a rant about racist and all types of homophobic remarks and all types of crazy shit. Like, I never
I have to
just go
I
off
have to
on
be honest.
people.
I don't report people for saying like worth and wreck.
No, I don't
or
do
like
either.
anything like that.
I only do
But,
stuff that's like
I get what
actually
you're saying.
reportable.
Yeah.
I do the big ones are people who are feeding like intentionally, and then people who are going out of their way to make the game unpleasant. Those are pretty much the only things I report on. So, because there are people that do it, I agree. There's a few, but yeah, don't talk to people. Just mute them. Like seriously,
Well, you can talk to people, just don't talk to the toxic ones.
Yeah, just don't talk to the toxic ones. Just don't talk back. Like I don't understand talking back. So that's my little rant about that. If you,
I completely agree.
I mean,
Everything that you just said, especially the douchebaggery.
Yeah, no, like I have a few subs who are like, yeah, my main account got banned and I don't know why. Don't pull that shit. You know why it got banned if you're probably being a douche. Like somebody lied to me the other day when I was playing with subs about stuff, and I was like, no, that shit don't fly. So don't be a douchebag. You've been called out. So.
All the bug fixes are really minor.
Yeah, a lot of minor bug fixes, pre-made.
Upcoming skins!
Upcoming skins! Let's jump to those. Alright, so if you didn't know, because you didn't watch the league updates over on Curse, I don't know where you've been. But first off, we got some new skins coming out. Mostly, one of the ones I'm excited for are the Fnatic skins from Season 1 Worlds. Fnatic
You're excited for that?
Yeah, I think I am. Why, are you not?
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Did you see it? Like...
What?
I don't know. I don't. It's this is a Daniel Tosh reference, but like
we just talked about not being a douchebag.
They're basically Babe Ruth. Like he was allowed to break records before African Americans could play baseball.
So now
Fnatic won Worlds when Koreans and Chinese
weren't playing the game.
Weren't playing the game.
I agree completely with that statement, but I also agree that they did win the feat at the time, and they deserve their recognition.
They won Battle of Atlantic Season 1.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But they deserve the recognition for it.
They do.
So they get their skins, and they also got their rings. Which is cool that the Riot is actually going to recognize it. So
I actually like Fnatic.
Some people say is recognize. They're the only EU team I think that legitimately does good on the world stage, and they have shown that.
Well, they have so much experience. It's just like ridiculous how much.
And they have shown it, and I do think Reckless is really good. So, so they're getting their skins. Obviously, you can see Gragas, Jarvan,
and obviously
Shanna, Karthus, and of course Sexpeke, and then Corki, and then Karma is getting a new skin.
Hers is really good.
Hers is really cool. So yeah, it's legit. I like it.
So, oh my gosh, was that just it?
That is it. That is the patch. 40 minutes later. So that's the patch notes. You can always watch their terrible patch rundown, but you already watched this one, so wrecked. And
worth.
Main things to take away. Viktor could be good again. Soraka looks fun.
Tristana got nerfed.
Tristana got a little nerf. Maokai got a little bit nerf.
Italy got huge nerf.
You don't have to worry about decay if you're in gold or silver. Yeah, those are some of the big ones. Don't be a douchebag. I think we summed things up.
What?
Yeah, summarized. It's a pretty large patch, but I think a lot of it too is in preparation for next season. Not that we're that close to next season technically, because even after Worlds, like before I think the regular people's seasons end, you still got like a month and a half usually, or like a month. And then the next season doesn't start till like January, like officially. There's like a weird layover time. So
the preseason.
Preseason, yeah. So these are preseason preparations. They want to see how things fit and balance and such. So that's gonna be patch 417. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Tell me if you hated things or liked things or other things and then such and things. Check out Kyle's channel. It's in the description. But other than that, I think we'll just see all of you guys next time, right? Yeah.
Later.